Hello and welcome to this English grammar lesson. Today we are going to study perfect tenses, and we are going to study them from a semantic point of view. We're not going to deal with perfect tenses with a formal perspective, because I understand that you already know how to build and how to recognize these perfect tenses. We're going to try to find out in which linguistic context we can use all of them. But first of all, before we get to analyze each and every one of them separately, we need to understand what the meaning of the word perfect is. What do we refer to when we talk about perfect, a perfect tense? I understand you have all heard the word perfect sometime, meaning flawless, without a defect. When referring to grammar, when referring to verb tenses, this has nothing to do with a verb tense being flawless, of course, but it has to do with the past. The action referred to by a perfect tense always has some kind of relationship with the past. This way, we are going to analyze different names for the different tenses. First, we have the past perfect. Past perfect means past and past, and that is kind of funny. This is different from what we would expect. What does it mean, past and past? Well, the past perfect tense is the past of the past. It refers to an action which took place before another action in the past, which is usually expressed by the past simple tense. That is a past perfect. If we take a look at the present perfect, its name is also something to think about. Present perfect means present and past. So what does it mean? It means that it refers to an action which started in the past and has gone on until the present. So it has both present and past in a single tense. When referring to the future perfect, future and past. The future perfect tense expresses an action which will be over before a time reference in the future. For instance, I say by November I will have finished my novel, right? So before November, the process of writing my novel will be over, and that is the future perfect tense. And now we are going to have some examples, and we are even going to have some diagrams representing these different verb tenses. Here we have the present perfect tense. The present perfect, as I said before, refers to an action which started in the past, has gone on until the present, and may continue in the future. This is uncertain. This last part is not for sure. But let's take the example, for instance. I have lived in London for 6 years. I have lived in London for 6 years. If we take a look at this red X here, you see the red X, right? If we take a look at the red X here, it represents the action of arriving, of getting to London for the first time. The arrow represents the progress of the action, and it should represent a period of six years, since I have been in London for 6 years. So I started living in London 6 years ago, and I'm still there. That is the point, right? This is the present perfect, an action which started in the past. This is the origin, the red X, has gone on until the present. That is the present perfect. The past perfect tense. Here we have two red X's, right? Here we have two different symbols. Well, the blue X represents an action in the past, whereas the red X represents an action in the past which took place before the first one. Let's take a look at the example. It says, when we arrived, that is the blue X, the train had left, that is the red X. So the action of arriving happened closer in time than the action of the verb having left the station. In other words, first the train left, and then we arrived. So The speaker really wants to make clear that one thing happened before the other, and that is the point of using the past perfect tense instead of the simple past. If you think about the simple past, you would say, like, you could refer to an action which took place 5 minutes ago, but you could also refer to an action which took place 5,000 years ago. I can say, this morning I had a sandwich for breakfast, and that was a couple of hours ago. But I could say the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids, and that was quite a long time ago. It was really far away in time. Now we have the future perfect tense. The future perfect tense refers to an action which will be over before a particular point in the future. Let's take a look at the example. It says, by November, I will have finished my novel, right? I have a time reference in the future, that is the blue X, that is a time reference in the future, the blue X, that is November. And before this time reference in the future, we have the action represented by the red X, which is the action of finishing my novel. So before November, my novel will be finished. And that is the future perfect tense. Well, I hope you enjoyed this explanation, and I hope it was good enough for you to understand how these three perfect tenses should be used, and in which linguistic context they are found. We'll meet again soon, I hope. Thank you very much.